The FBI is now investigating the alleged murder of Aaron Carter, who was accused of being the one responsible. The details of Aaron Carter's death have creepy similarities with the deaths of Sean Diddy's ex-wife Kim Porter and Aaliyah Jay-Z's ex-girlfriend. Aaron Carter had been involved in the music industry for 22 years and had dedicated 22 years to his fans. However, he was turned on by people who accused him of having AIDS. Aaron Carter's death in November 2022 has been surrounded by controversy, as he allegedly died after overdosing on Xanax. He released a video before his death stating that his life was in danger and that there were people after him. One day after Diddy's birthday, Aaron dies and it's an accident. He begged for help from the world, asking for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. According to the autopsy performed on Aaron Carter's body, he supposedly died in a bathtub after overdosing on Xanax, but never found any water in his lungs. Even his mom believes the police are trying to cover up a murder. There are rumors that Aaron Carter was actually murdered and left in the bathtub, similar to what happened with Aaliyah and Kim Porter. Carter's mother, J. John Schneck, posted photos on Facebook showing the bathroom where her son was found, believing that the cops wanted it to be an easy case. She believes there were people out there who wanted to harm him. Aaron had always been a victim of abuse, first by his own family and then by Hollywood. When he first stepped into the music industry at the age of 20, he was abused by the pet industry, leading to severe mental health problems and becoming a habitual user. Aaron Carter's mother expressed concerns about his HIV and bisexuality, which she believes is a fact he hasn't always been safe sexually. The FBI is now looking into the matter and examining the similarities between Aaron Carter's death and those of Diddy's ex-wife, Kim Porter. Aaron Carter has recently accused his late sister Leslie, who died in 2012, of sexually assaulting him when he was a child. The singer claimed that his sister was sexually assaulted by him from the age of 10 to 13 years old when she wasn't on her medications. He also alleged that he was sexually assaulted by his first two backup dancers when he was 8 years old and his brother me my whole life. Aaron Carter claims that the AB question came as a result of his late sister Leslie's mental health issues, which she suffered from bipolar disorder and took lithium to treat it. He spent the last 15 years of his life going to therapy for the AB. This issue is similar to what multiple other child celebrities, including Justin Bieber, have faced. The parallels in their troubles with use and mental health issues suggest that they both went through the same sexual abuse. Usher took custody of Justin Bieber after he had been trying to get him for a minute, but it wasn't until Usher took over management and gave temporary guardianship to the dead for 48 hours. This situation highlights the brutality of Diddy's behavior, where he takes another talented boy and puts him in his place. If Usher knew what was going to happen to any of the young children he took to the flavor, he would be horrified. Aaron's mother has repeatedly mentioned that her son was murdered, and the case needs to be reopened. There are striking similarities in how Aaron died, and other people in the music industry, as their deaths are made to look like accidents or coups. People with no health issues suddenly disappear in reality. The case of Kim Porter, who died between the ages of 8 and 11, has raised questions about the circumstances surrounding her death. She had bruises and a lot of her belongings missing, and there are suspect things going on. First and foremost, nobody knows where Kim Porter's phone is, and they know they had an iPhone. In conclusion, Aaron Carter's allegations of sexual abuse and the murder of his sister Leslie highlight the darker truth behind the music industry's practices. The case needs to be reopened, as there are many suspects and questions surrounding the true nature of these crimes. The case of Kim Porter's murder is a complex and controversial one, with various individuals and organizations involved in the investigation. One of the key figures involved is her son, Zach, who has all the rights to access the case. The phone she had was destroyed and cut off, along with her last text, indicates that she was not a medical professional or investigator. The case also raises questions about foul play, as it seems that someone with Kim's financial status would have died without a doctor or responsible medical person. The case has been reopened by Jaguar Wright, who believes that Diddy is directly involved in the alleged cover-up of his ex-wife's murder. Wright has also discussed how Diddy has a pattern of getting rid of anyone who stands in his way, such as every executive at Uptown Records who stood in his path. This is evident in the deaths of Heavy D, Al, and Kim Porter, who were all involved in the production of his life. Another significant figure in the case is Jamie Frog, who attended the tapings of his Netflix special, Fox, and claimed that Combs was responsible for his mysterious hospitalization in 2023. Frog claims that Diddy was responsible for Combs' hospitalization and that he was the one who quoting the FBI on him. He also claims that Fox attended the first and third of Fox's 3 tapings, which took place on October 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Atlanta. Frog believes that the investigation against Diddy is bound to uncover some of the worst secrets in Hollywood, and the diary of Kim Porter is allegedly the biggest piece of evidence that will tie everything together. Kim wrote down the names of everyone involved with Diddy in her diary and mentioned exact details about how Daddy was treated. In conclusion, the case of Kim Porter's murder raises questions about the motives behind the murder and the potential consequences of Diddy's actions. The diary of Kim Porter serves as a crucial piece of evidence that will help to unravel the mystery surrounding the case and the alleged cover-up of Kim Porter's death. Courtney Burgess, one of Kim Porter's closest friends, has come forward with 8 flash drives that allegedly hold 6 tapes and a digital version of Kim Porter's diary. The team is now following the evidence and exposing the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. The evidence implicates these brave victims who deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had over 3,685 individuals contact us with people claiming they were victimized by Sean Connors after the incident. We now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Connors, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. These statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. After testifying before the grand jury, Burgess answered what he could given the limitations imposed on him. He was subpoenaed by the court, and if he doesn't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to his house and bring him here. He mentioned that he can back that up with actual factual footage, but he is not nervous. The team is now going to discuss what was available on the flash drives and what was on Kim Porter's official book. It is important to note that no one touched or altered the book, and it is not possible to discuss the celebrities mentioned in the interview. In conclusion, the evidence implicating victims of the Sean Connors case has broken the wall of silence and has led to more victims coming forward. The team is now working to determine what documents will be turned over and what documents they do not have. As the investigation continues, it is clear that Diddy is not getting away from this case. The text discusses the ongoing investigation into the murder of rapper Diddy by his wife, Kim Porter. The family claims that one copy of the diary was edited and the other was an actual real copy. The family also mentions that they knew a lot about their mother's activities, which they didn't know. As Diddy is going down, the people who helped him are worried about what's coming for them and that they won't last long in prison. Many Hollywood individuals were likely worried about the parties Diddy was at and what was going on. If they were at a party and discovered that Diddy set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was happening in another room, they may be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. They want to know everything they want to know and may even want to be a witness. The case is just getting started, and attorney Tony Busby has mentioned bringing over 36 civil cases against Diddy. He plans to make everything public, naming people in these lawsuits without doing due diligence. This is because allegations of Diddy's involvement in the events are hurtful and potentially harmful to people if they are true. Another incident involves a minor who was told by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but needed a visit with him in private. He made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident involves a 15-year-old girl who was taken into a private room with other individuals taking turns raping her. Another incident involves a 26-year-old girl who was picked up by Mr. Combs and several others in a black SUV from the airport, and woke up the next day with pain and damage to her vagina and anus. Another incident involves an individual who attended a group dinner with Shan Combs in Miami, who was not drinking because she was pregnant. She woke up in the same bed again, allegedly with Mr. Combs in his mansion. Her vagina and anus were torn and sore. In conclusion, the text highlights the ongoing investigation into the murder of Diddy by his wife, Kim Porter, and the subsequent allegations against him and his underage children. The court is working to make the details of the crimes committed and the consequences of Diddy's actions public, as well as the potential for more charges and witnesses. In this text, Natana Rubin discusses the evidence that the feds can use to support Diddy, including a woman who was shot by him in 1999. She claims that Diddy is the one who shot her at the club, but supporters argue that Diddy didn't even want to take a plea deal in the case because he was so sure of his innocence. Natana Rubin questions whether people around Diddy believe that Combs was convicted of a crime he didn't commit, as he was the one who admitted on the Combat Jack podcast that he fired his gun and shot Julius Jones in the show. Combs does not have accountability for what he did, and she believes that those who were convicted of crimes they didn't commit should have been charged with attempted murder, reckless endangerment, criminal possession of a weapon, and firing that weapon in an open environment. Natana Rubin also discusses the question of whether Combs was convicted of a crime he didn't commit, as he was the one who ultimately admitted to firing his gun and shooting Julius Jones in the show. She believes that those who had made up their mind about who they were going to blame for this before talking to her or anyone else have made up their mind about who they were going to blame for this. Natana Rubin expresses her gratitude for God's grace and the grace of God that saved her life 24 years ago. She is a strong woman who lives a simple, quiet, risk-averse life, and if she meets with an untimely demise, it would require deep investigation. She is grateful that God spared her life and plans to live out her life to see her children's lives actualize and realize she wants to play against the government. Natana Rubin also discusses the eerie parallels in Aaron Carter's tragic death and the chilling revelations in Kim Porter's diary, which are part of a larger, more disturbing story at play. She believes that the pieces of this sinister puzzle are coming together, and she is willing to have a doctor remove a part of the 9mm bullet in her face so that they can use it as evidence if needed for the trial. In conclusion, Natana Rubin discusses the evidence surrounding Diddy and the possibility of using one of his alleged victims to testify in court. She believes that those who have been convicted of crimes should have been held accountable and that the government should continue to provide a voice on this matter.